What's up, guys? I'm back doing another camera review. Now, I have in my hands the all-new Sony FX3. I call it the battle-armored A7S III. You know, battle-armored Batman, battle-armored A7S III, which is the FX3. Now, I didn't want to do the normal camera review. We've done that over the past few videos. You've seen there been that, bought the t-shirt. I don't have t-shirts for sale, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I thought it'd be cool to pit this against a RED Komodo. Since everybody's really interested in the RED Komodo, my friend Mus is a certified RED DP. He uses RED for a lot of his projects, so we're gonna go over to the studio that he works at, and we're gonna test the FX3 against the RED Komodo, see which camera is right for you. Let's go find out. All right, what's up, guys? Now we are in the Advocate studio here with my friend Mus, who is a video producer. And like I said earlier, we're gonna test the FX3 against the RED Komodo, which you've got in your hand right here. Look at that setup like that. Got the tilted cage on this. What lens is this bad boy?
This is a DZO film 2055, and I also got a 51-5.
Okay, so you got quite a range of zooms and focal lengths there, and I've got the FX3 with the 90 f2.8 macro, but also have various different lenses as well in my bag to match your focal length, because we're going to be doing a test against these cameras. But first, before we get into all that, let's talk about your journey with RED and this whole Komodo. Like, you've been using this for how many months now?
This one, I think, less than 2 months.
2 months?
Just came, yeah.
What is the workhorse, though, for you guys?
The workhorse is our Gemini camera.
Gemini or
the
Gemini?
Main one. Gemini, apparently this is Gemini.
Is it Gemini? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Gemini. So I have it right here. It's not rigged up yet, so...
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just
the main cam. This is the main cam.
Before we get into that, what kind of work do you guys do here at Advocate?
So we do a lot of corporate videos. Right now, since COVID, there's a lot of hybrid broadcasting stuff through the internet.
Yes.
And whatever they use, Teams or Blue Jeans or Zoom.
Yeah.
So that's the main bulk of the work. But occasionally they have a lot of corporate videos, which is a bit more high budget, so they requires a cinema look to it, a bit like TVC.
Okay, so why, this is the thing that I think a lot of people ask of us. Why would you use a RED camera for corporate videos? Because where do these videos get shown at the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean, it gets shown in their internal stakeholders, or also to sell to the clients, which to them is important. Okay. Sell to the clients, so they want that look. So we have been using Sony for a few years, A7 III, right? Yeah. So we needed to switch between having a file format that can color grade well, and which is fairly affordable. Okay. The workflow has to be affordable. It cannot be RE. That's out of the question. Right.
So you went from an A7 III to a RED Gemini.
Yeah.
That's a jump.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a jump, right? That's a little bit different in budget. Yeah. It's a bit different. So, okay. I mean, you didn't stop anywhere in between, right? You just went right to the Gemini.
We did rent, though. We did rent other cameras before we made a purchase. Okay. So, I mean, obviously we rented the RED, and then we rented Blackmagic. Yeah. And then we rented FS7.
Okay, so you used the FX7. Okay.
Canon C2, C3, all this.
Right. So, and at the end of the day, it was the color that sold you on the RED.
It's the fastest to color grade.
Okay.
Off the bat.
Really?
Off the bat.
Okay. All right. And do your clients, do they notice a difference?
I think when you use one camera, they won't really notice the difference if you use Sony for all, or Canon for all. But if you try to mix the cameras, let's say there was one time we used RED for a shoot and a Sony A7 with an external recorder, of course, 422 ProRes. Right. The interior of the building was orange. On set, we tried to correct it as best as we can. Right. Then when we did in post, they could notice the difference. It was just talking heads, but they could notice that there's a difference in color, slight differences, and say, you know what, this one looks weird. So we had to spend one day to
Sony's skin tone color science back in the day, right? Yeah. That was the...
Or now, I don't know.
Well, things have changed. I can say that things have changed with the FX3. You'll see it in just a bit when we do a test. Yeah. So this is obviously, we're going to do a test in just a bit. This will be sort of our benchmark, right? Yeah. So the Gemini will be the benchmark for the test. We've got the FX3 here, we've got the Komodo. But let's talk about some of the things that we'll be testing for this. First off, color science. See if the FX3 is much better than the A7 III that you had a difficult time with.
It has to, right? It has to.
I think it has.
Yeah.
I think it has. I'm going to put my neck on the line and say that I think you're going to be very surprised by the color science of this. We're going to test low light performance, dynamic range. Of course, one of the big selling parts of the Komodo is the global shutter. I think this is the first time we're seeing a global shutter in a camera like this. So, do you notice a difference using global shutter versus not?
No, we do not. We do not use a lot of high-speed camera movements.
Okay.
In fact, we use slow camera movements, and we use high frame rates, which comes back to the point that this camera, despite all the good things, it cannot shoot high frames at 4K.
Well, this can. 4K 120 full frame. And S-Log2, S-Log3, or a Cinetone. You can choose.
Okay.
You can try it out.
Let's see.
And so we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So we're really the benchmark will be color, and I think low light performance, and then we'll also run it in terms of raw and see how it all performs. All right. So with that, Mus, let's rig these things up and let's get started. Let's do it.
Right.
So right now I'm going to be. I guess I was told I'm going to be the test subject for this whole thing. Test skin tone colors, all that fun stuff. Mus is setting everything up with all the tripods. We've got the Gemini all set up here. I'm going to rig that up. And then I guess we're going to put all the cameras together and we're going to see how this all runs out. Then we're going to go into the computer, color grade it. We're going to see all that, how it happens. And then you get to see right then and there the end results. And I guess what we could do on the videos, we can possibly is just take all clips and we'll just play them side by side as well. So we'll show you on a screen recording, but we'll also put it side by side so you get a chance to see like how they actually look like on YouTube. So this should be fun. I think the FX3 stands a chance. You know, I mean, to the Gemini, that's gonna be hard to say. The Gemini is the Gemini. You know what I mean? But I think to the Komodo, I think we're gonna be pretty surprised what this FX3 can do. So we are now doing a color chart test. What are you doing? Color chart?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the Gemini, we've got the Komodo, and we got the FX3, all focused on me in the color chart. So what do? Just sit here and look good?
Yeah.
We'll try to.
Okay, cut.
Got it?
Got it.
Okay, what else should we try? Low light? What ISO you set on your camera?
For this one, the RED has no ISO.
This is raw.
Yeah.
So I think the FX3 is, they say, I think it's like a dual gain ISO, but they don't really, Sony doesn't really say that. So I guess we'll set it its base ISO.
Looking good on the red though.
Just tap on the screen and it's focused, right? Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Tap on the screen to focus. Is my eye box on? Look at that, eye tracking. Gotta love technology. Here's a test. RED Komodo, Sony FX3, RED Gemini, and we're going to see how the video performs on all three. Okay. You see it, right?
Yeah.
So the Gemini doesn't probably do as well on this as the Komodo, huh?
Yeah.
Not too bad, not too bad. Look, I have no skin in the game on this, honestly, folks. I mean, this is just me having some fun with some cameras, with some friends, but I saw the look on your face there, Mus. I saw the look on your face there, Mus. It looked like it wasn't too bad, huh?
Yeah.
This FX3 is not a bad camera at all. This is actually a very good camera. All right, so now I guess we'll load all this stuff up, put it inside the computer, and then we'll take a look and see how they all look and go from there. All right. So now we're gonna color grade the Sony to the RED. All right.
Is this Sony?
Yeah, this is Sony FX3.
It's pretty sharp, huh?
Yeah. that's what everybody said.
It's very sharp. So
I'm also using the 90 f2.8 macro lens on that thing too, so that's also could be yeah. It's So RED, you really got to push up the saturation quite a bit,
down,
right?
It's very down, yeah.
I mean, just looking at it right now, I mean, obviously there's more tweaking that needs to be done, right? But the Sony seems a little bit easier to grade, huh?
Yeah. There's a tint I'm trying to get rid
Yeah,
of.
there's a tint to the red.
Yeah, it's green, a bit green. I'm trying to get rid of it.
But is that sort of is that
From
part
my
and parcel?
experience, yes.
That's what RED always has, a little bit of green
Sometimes
tint
it's the lens as well.
to it. Yeah.
It's the Komodo.
Yeah, this is the Komodo. So it's also got a different color profile to the Komodo way, right? The way it grades it, is it the same or?
It's pretty much the same. Sometimes there's the LUT that you need to turn off in the raw file. You see the green tint is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
red look.
IPPT profile. There's a red profile where it always has this green tint.
That's
to it.
part of the look of it, right?
Yeah. If you want to remove it, you need to really correct it.
Now, when you're for projects, do you usually keep this green tint, or do you get rid of it, or?
I'll get rid of it. It's
Yeah.
to your
To your preference, right?
Yeah, preference.
But I guess in that kind of green tint gives you that cinematic
Yeah.
look too, right? That's that cinema look that usually you see in a lot of films, right?
Yes.
A bit more the greenish tint.
And
Would-
people don't really mind the green tint.
No.
Yeah, they don't really. Okay, I think I'm done.
Okay, so pretty much now let's go through all of them and see what we've got here.
Let me see this.
So we've got here's the Sony on the FX3. A little more vibrant, you could say.
Yeah,
very sharp.
yeah,
very sharp. We're testing some of the jello effect on this, which is pretty decent, you know, considering. Probably not the global shutter quality, but yeah.
Color's pretty decent.
The color's decent, right? Improved over the previous. This is the Gemini, I think.
Gemini, yeah. It's a bit softer.
Yeah.
The look is a bit softer.
Yeah.
Probably the lens as well.
Yeah, true, because you got a little bit of vignetting here, so
But the color a bit more desaturated.
yeah. But do different RED cameras have different color, or are they all pretty much
No,
the same?
pretty much the same.
Okay.
There's the raw settings you can adjust.
Okay.
Like the layer,
Okay.
deep layer, how you pronounce it. I guess if you're going for this look, this would be ideal.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not so.
What would you
digital.
consider this look to be? More cinematic, more
Like a film,
more
like
film-wise?
indie film.
more
look.
indie film look? Yeah. Okay.
It's not as in your face
Right.
sharpness.
Yeah, the Sony was very sharp. And
Yes,
again, I'm
very
not using a cinema lens. I'm using
Yeah,
a
correct.
a photographer's lens.
The noise.
Bit of noise, huh?
Yeah. Maybe because I brought it up too much, but it's fine. It's not noise that I hate though.
Yeah. I mean, I would say,
I think it's a bit better the look
yeah,
than the Gemini, but pretty similar.
very
Pretty
similar, very
yeah.
similar. Yeah, this has a little bit more warmth to it. a
It's
little
like in between your FS3
Yeah.
and Gemini. This will be the middle look.
Right. So a little more saturation, a little bit more warmth in the skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I guess it depends. If you're going to, like for like YouTube or short videos, if you just want a very clean look, the
Mm-hmm.
FX3 could definitely do it.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah. We did a low light performance too as well, but I don't know if that's in this bit.
Yeah.
Let's see how low
I'll
light
copy
looks.
the exact same settings.
Okay.
This is Sony's low light.
What do you think?
I think it's very sharp. It's really very sharp.
In terms of color, can be tweaked a little bit again.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, yeah,
We're just copying and pasting settings here.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But there's not really much noise though. It's very
It's very controlled.
yes, but it's controlled lighting.
And we were at the base ISO. Yeah.
This is the low light for the Gemini.
Yeah.
Doesn't look low light. It looks pretty lit.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, but it's still the same softness that you would expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the noise level is pretty clean. It's cleaner
It's
because
good.
it's brighter.
Yeah, it's brighter.
Yeah.
So I wonder if with the Sony we boosted the brightness or boosted the.
I'll
gap.
bring this down and then
Yeah.
I'll bring that up this.
Yeah, let's see how that goes, just to sort of compare. Ooh, nice. I have to say the FX3 colors are quite pleasing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're very good colors, but it's very pleasing.
You see, there's not much difference between the normal.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's very consistent.
Yes,
So the Gemini's consistent in terms of color. I mean, very cinematic. This is where we see the red shine.
screen out. Ooh. Okay, I like this shot.
This is nice. This is beautiful.
This is the low light from the Gemini. Like I had to bring it down on purpose just to
match it, right?
Yeah, it's super clean.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's very clean.
Yeah. Okay, let's see the. I brought this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can finally see the noise.
You can see the noise. But if we bring it down to match the same
Yeah.
exposure, let's try to do that. Let's try to do that match exposure. You know, I would say, looking at it, looking between these two, right? We're just comparing the Sony and
The Gemini.
Right?
Yeah.
This is just my very novice eye. I would say that you see a little bit more in terms of tonality on the FX3. The Gemini is very cinematic, but it looks more like film. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We don't have that
exactly,
graduation as much as you do. The FX3 is a nice graduation, nice tonality to it. Where this is much more, you know, the highs are high, the lows are low. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, that's
You can
true.
play with it a bit more,
But
right?
you will see this more on like YouTube.
Yes, this is much more of a YouTube look.
Yes, correct.
The other one is much more film. Like this looks like film. You know?
But both looks good.
Well, yeah, totally. It's a different look. I could say that.
Yeah.
The FX3 might be for a lot of YouTubers out there. I think they would probably use this camera more because obviously size, autofocus, speed, the
Yep.
colors are good. These are much better colors than previous Sony cameras anyway, right? So now we're gonna put the Komodo in there.
Oof. It looks bad before I started.
So this is where I think where you're gonna see the difference in terms of cinema quality, but also we're not using the same lenses, and lenses do play a part, but from what I'm looking here on the screen, and you're gonna see this as well, is that the RED does mimic film in a lot of ways. If you ever shot film on a 35mm camera, you're gonna notice you're not gonna get that dynamic range of graduation that you're gonna get with digital, where the Sony has that inside of it. Now, of course, you probably can grade the Sony to look more film-esque, but naturally it has that fall off, right? Would you call it that? That sort of graduation, that fall off, yeah.
Yeah, this is the Komodo.
Yeah.
It's super noisy.
Yeah, the Komodo's not winning this in terms of low light on this. Was it settings, you think, or is it just?
I think it's just the
camera.
way it's supposed to perform. Like
Yeah.
it's meant to be performed in like super well lit conditions.
Okay,
Not
okay.
like low light. Because the Gemini is specialized for low light.
Gotcha.
Yeah, scenes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's still decent.
I mean, it's decent, but I mean,
Yeah.
if you were to get a camera that you want to use in a variety of conditions, okay, here's a question. Between FX3 and Komodo, for, let's say you're going to shoot it in lower light, documentary, you know,
Run and gun.
FX3 probably, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Komodo, well lit.
For
you know.
the ease of like run and gun purposes, yes.
Okay.
But if you already have a Komodo, there's no need for you to go ahead and get an FX3.
No, yeah. You just play with it, just
Yeah,
work with it,
exactly,
just work with
yeah.
the files, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like if you already have the FX3, there's no need for you to change anything.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are both decent if
Yeah.
you really. No one's gonna be like zooming in.
Yeah,
and
they're
look-
not. I mean,
yeah.
and that's the thing. I think that really comes down to we're not pixel peeping, but if you are,
If you like the look,
Yeah.
go for this.
yeah.
But if you already have this,
I mean, look
it's
at
good.
the,
Yeah.
the Sony looks good though. I mean, the Sony looks good. I have
It's
to
like
say,
a poster. Yeah.
it looks like a poster. That's exactly it. It's commercial ready. Now, obviously, the 90 macro lens is very sharp, so I think a cinema lens would probably be a better choice in terms of this comparison. So it's not scientific per se, but yeah, there you have it. So, all right, thanks. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, so Daniel, that
Yes.
was interesting, right?
Yep.
Was that the first time you saw the FX3
Yes,
files?
definitely.
What'd you think?
I think it's pretty up there.
Yeah?
It's new. It's sharp. It's better than what I've seen with the other Sony footages.
Yeah.
I might want to pick one up if you have one for me.
Well, I mean, I don't sell them.
Sony?
So they are going on, I think they're on sale now, or they will be. But I mean, again, we are using the 90 f2.8 macro lens, which is a very sharp lens, being a macro lens. So that is going to make a difference in terms of the sharpness that we saw in the video quality. I mean, RED is RED, you know what I mean? I mean, compared to the RED now, because you work with RED,
Yep.
you're RED certified.
Yep.
What do you think compared to the file between RED and the Sony?
I think there's an obvious difference. Like definitely the RED is more flexible.
Yeah.
Because you're shooting it raw.
Right,
So you have the ability to change it in post.
right.
But for the FX3, it's decent out of the camera.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. If you know your settings, you know how to make it look good.
Yeah.
You have no problems there. There's no need for you to jump ship to RED if you already have the FX3.
There you go. You know, and I mean, and I think a lot of you watching this video will probably say the same thing. You'll be thinking to yourself, well, I love the RED look, or I love the Sony look, and there's no right or wrong to it, I think. I mean, it depends on the platform that you're going to be using this for, and you know, obviously the RED, to me, when I saw it, obviously this is a quick color grade, and you know, if you're doing a full project that you're getting paid for, you're going to spend hours color grading it. But it seems to give more that film look, that
softness, the grainy,
softness, yeah. Whereas the Sony is
very digital.
Very digital.
Yes.
Could be also part of the lens, but also the color roll off. It's just as more gradual, but that's also the beauty of it too. So, I mean, but overall, I have to say, I mean, I played with the A7S III. Having the FX3 in my hand, I would say that if I needed a camera that's strictly for video, I'm like, I don't need an EVF for the A7S III, then I would get this. I mean, build quality, feel this. It feels like a tank, right? I mean,
it's light. Doesn't look as heavy as it looks.
No, yeah, but it's built
than
well. I mean, it's, you know, you get the 1/4 inch UNC holes on all over it. You know, so it's sort of built for the rigging up. You got the flip out display, autofocus.
Yep.
All that great stuff. Good grip. I mean, I like it. I actually like this camera quite a bit. And then here's the Komodo. We put that into it, which is really built for modularity, right? Grip on the side. V-mount battery system, no tilt display.
Oh yeah, you can control it on your phone.
Right, you can control on the phone as well. But if you want to run and gun, if you're a single man operator or single woman operator, I would say this might be a bit easier. You know, this is going to be taking a little bit, you know, put a display up there and everything else. Then of course we got the Gemini here, which is, this needs to be on a tripod.
Yeah.
At all times. Yeah, you're not running a gun with. I mean, you could run a gun with this if you wanted to, but by the time you put a handle on it and a lens, this is a beast, but it's a beautiful beast.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful beast. So, I mean, this comparison is kind of a fun one at the end of the day because there's no right or wrong. It depends on your preference and your budget, but I'm impressed with the FX3 can perform at its price point versus the Gemini and at the Komodo, and I think that they're all great options. So, yeah. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Mus, who's behind the camera now. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you to Advocate for allowing us in your studio. With that, be safe. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We will chat to you very soon. Take care.